Hello, everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a really massive paradigm shift in how organizations are handling cybersecurity. We're going to figure out exactly why it's time to finally move beyond those isolated, fragmented security scanners and actually evolve into a unified, solution-centric ecosystem.
Let's jump right in with a question that, honestly, should make every IT manager and developer pause for a second. Will your expensive automated scanner actually stop a hacker? It's a fundamental question, and it really cuts right to the core of daily security operations. Well, the harsh reality here is no. Detection does not equal protection. It's a super common yet incredibly dangerous trap to believe that just buying a standalone scanning tool, like a static or dynamic application security testing tool, somehow automatically makes your application secure or magically turns your team into web hackers. It absolutely does not.
Here is our agenda for today's explainer. 1. The illusion of security. 2. Anatomy of the trap. 3. The solution-centric shift. 4. 5 pillars of defense. And 5. A unified security ecosystem.
Section 1. The illusion of security. Let's walk through what I like to call the typical enterprise failure timeline. It usually starts in month 1. Seduced by the promise of a quick fix, an organization cuts a massive check for a premium scanner license. Month 2 rolls around, they run an initial scan, maybe clear a few low-hanging alerts, and suddenly they feel completely safe. But then month 6 arrives, and boom, they experience a real-world breach. What happened? Well, they fell victim to probably the most toxic mentality in cybersecurity, mistaking a software product tool for an actual security capability.
Section 2. Anatomy of the trap.
So, why do these tools fail us? Because they rely heavily on predefined signatures and static rules, automated scanners are essentially just pattern matchers. This severely limits what they can evaluate. They completely miss real user behavior patterns, like, say, an attacker moving very slowly across multiple sessions. They can't see multi-step attack chains, where a hacker might combine several minor, low-severity weaknesses into one catastrophic breach. They are completely blind to cross-system interactions, the abuse of totally legitimate features like a password reset or refund button, and environment-specific runtime risks. Real-world attackers are highly creative. Scanners, they're completely deterministic. A perfect example of this blind spot is a business logic flaw like IDOR or insecure direct object reference. Imagine a hacker logs in and changes just a single digit in the URL, say from account ID 1001 to 1002, and suddenly they're viewing another user's private financial records. An automated scanner is going to pass right over that. Why? Because to the scanner, the web page loaded successfully. The server returned a standard HTTP 200 success code. So the scanner sees a perfectly functioning application, while a human hacker sees a total catastrophic flaw.
Ultimately, a scanner is just a stethoscope. It is not a surgeon. A diagnostic test is not a defensive shield. When your scanner dumps a 300-page PDF report completely filled with false positives onto your desk, your actual real-world risk hasn't dropped by a single percentage point. That vulnerability remains completely live and exploitable until a human engineer steps in to act as the surgeon, understanding the root cause and physically rewriting the code.
Section 3. The solution-centric shift.
Vincent Lim perfectly captures this necessary shift in mindset. He says, security is not a product you can buy off a shelf. True protection only happens when your diagnostic tools, your real-time threat response, your private AI data sovereignty, and your developer workflows operates as a single cohesive organism. That right there is exactly how we bridge the massive gap between proactive discovery and active defense.
Section 4. 5 pillars of defense.
Pillar 1 is hybrid scanning. Look, there is no single best scanning tool out there. Commercial scanners are going to give you excellent, high-end corporate signature databases, while open-source scanners provide agile, incredibly fast community scripts that can often catch 0 days, weeks before the commercial vendors even package them. The ESPIN scanner appliance actually consolidates both. It runs premium licensed software and agile open-source engines together in a single unified appliance, capturing the absolute widest possible security horizon.
Moving on to Pillar 2, which solves the infamous problem of alert fatigue. If you just generate thousands of unverified alerts, your engineers are going to stop listening. It's just noise. The ESPIN Enterprise Vulnerability Management System, or EVM, acts as the central brain here through a 3-step workflow. First, aggregation, pulling all that scattered data into one single pane of glass. Second, normalization, translating all those different vendor ratings into one unified risk score. And third, SLA tracking, providing clear executive dashboards so you can see exactly which vulnerabilities are breaching your corporate fix windows.
Pillar 3 introduces real-time active defense through ESPIN's SIM and XDR. That's security information and event management paired with extended detection and response powered by Wazoo. This eliminates that scary blind spot between static code and live operations. It provides continuous monitoring across your entire IT estate. It uses context-driven telemetry, meaning it interfaces directly with the EVM to watch for live exploitation attempts on your specifically known flaws. And most importantly, active response. It doesn't just sit back and watch an attack happen. Through endpoint agents, it can automatically block malicious IPs or isolate a compromised host instantly, right at runtime.
Now, Pillar 4 is fascinating because it tackles a very modern problem. We all know AI is amazing for analyzing code and logs, but actually pasting your proprietary vulnerable enterprise code into a public cloud AI? Yeah, that is an existential data privacy nightmare. Your sensitive data is suddenly sitting on an external server. By using an on-premise ESPIN appliance instead, analysts can conduct deep vulnerability research and log triage using localized models. You're getting all the incredible power of AI, but retaining absolute digital sovereignty. Finally, Pillar 5 is continuous DevOps integration. Finding a critical flaw and then just dropping a raw spreadsheet onto a developer's desk pretty much guarantees it will sit unaddressed for months. True validation only happens when detected vulnerabilities are automatically converted into actionable, tracked developer tasks right inside their native issue management tools via ESPIN, source control management, and DevOps. By doing this, security actually becomes a built-in step in the software supply chain rather than just an adversarial roadblock at the end.
Section 5. A unified security ecosystem.
The contrast we've looked at today is stark. The toxic, product-centric mindset relies entirely on scattered data and checking boxes for compliance. Your visibility is just a brittle point-in-time snapshot, and your developers are constantly getting raw PDF reports thrown over the wall at them. But the ESPIN solution-centric ecosystem completely orchestrates an automated lifecycle. Data is automatically aggregated and normalized in a centralized EVM. You've got real-time active containment, private on-prem AI intelligence, and direct automated issue tracking. You're essentially replacing a brittle product with a highly resilient framework that actually solves your enterprise risk.
So it really is time to abandon disconnected tool fatigue. Stop asking which expensive, shiny new tool will miraculously save your application. Instead, start asking, how does your security infrastructure behave as a whole? Embracing that shift in mindset is truly the only path forward to a secure digital environment.